Hey there ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Snowrunner truck comparison video with me, Deck. So today we are looking at the Kolob 74760, the Kolob 74941, and the Pacific P16. So these are basically your big heavy hitters, your high saddle powerhouses. And it's time to see which performs the best, which is the most worthwhile. And I'll give you a hint, it's maybe the middle one. But onto the speed test. Alright, so now we have the power test. So the Pacific P16 does not have all-wheel drive, unlike the two Kolobs. But as you'll see, this doesn't really make a difference. It just doesn't need all-wheel drive. All the trucks, well, the Kolobs are both driving with all-wheel drive and diff lock on in low plus. And you'll see the Kolobs sort of struggle on the hills a bit of wheel spin. But the P16 just goes and goes, and as you can see, it's way ahead. It's already approaching the mud. I think just its sheer size is what enables it to get through. It's just able to keep pushing because it's got the twin wheels on the drive axles, whereas the Kolobs are just single, just chunky wheels. So you see, yeah, they're sort of struggling. The Kolobs are struggling a bit. They get bogged down. The 749, which is the top right, has that nose to contend with, digging into mud from time to time. And you can see the P16 is way ahead. It's finishing already. You can see on the two Kolob screens where the Tuz is at, and they've still got that hill to climb. So the P16 wins it out nice and easily. Second place will be the 749. And then third place, the 747. So as you can see, pretty big differences in time there. I mean, to the P16's easy win. So the next part of the comparison is trailers. So you can see that each truck has the fuel tanker trailer on the rear hitch and not on the fifth wheel. I won't be showing what add-ons they have because they all only take saddle high. So it's not really the comparison there is that they all do the same thing, and the same with equipable trailers. So next we're going to move on to turning circle and ground clearance. So now we're going to take a look at the ground clearance of the three trucks. So as you can see, if we look at first the two Kolobs, the one I'm in now, it's just, you can see the difference. It's night and day. There's a much higher ground clearance, even though they have the exact same wheels. The chassis is a lot higher. If we take a look at the rear, the main problem with the bigger Kolob is this rear part of the chassis, these near vertical pieces, which manage to catch every significantly sized boulder. The number of times I've got the bigger Kolob stuck is unbelievable. Just for it getting wedged on things. It's crazy given its size. Now, if we compare things to the P16, again, I think the P16 has slightly less ground clearance at the back. You can see at the front because of that tow bar, that bull bar, and the drive axle itself is a bit lower. But overall, along the length of it, there's not that much to get caught on things, so it's pretty good, and its wheels are nice and beefy to keep it up off the ground. So yeah, now we're going to look at the turning circle, which, because these trucks are so big, we're going to take a look at things in a slightly different way. So, right, now time for the turning circle. So because these trucks are so big, I didn't really think that going in the garage box was going to be enough. So we've gone alongside this curb, and we're going to just basically see how far they have to go to do a 180-degree turn. So as always, we're in low gear, and I'm going to have to go forward at least a little bit. So get the wheels to the curb and then around we go. At full speed in low range. And then we'll stop when basically we are at that point. So not bad. Right, now to test the turning circle of the Kolob 747. So we're in low gear and off we go. I'm expecting the Kolobs to be kind of similar, to be honest. And looking at that trajectory, yep, it's pretty much identical. And now we take a look at the P16's turning circle. So it's going to differ, yeah, quite a lot compared to the Kolobs. A lot wider. You can see that twin steer really making a big difference. There we go. So the P16 ended up here, whereas the Kolobs were basically inside those white lines, so big difference there. Right, so let's take a look at the final results and tie everything up. So for frame add-ons, each truck can equip a saddle high and can tow a trailer, so that's 2 points. The power and speed test, the Pacific P16 won with a time of 1 minute 20, followed by the Kolob 749 and then the Kolob 747. Turning radius, the two Kolobs were equal, whereas the Pacific P16 had a much greater turning radius. Ground clearance was taken by the 749 because it's just superior. The Kolob 747 basically scrapes along the ground, and the P16 is in between that. For fuel consumption, the P16 used 4.6% of its fuel tank to make that journey. So not only was it the quickest, but it was the most efficient. And the Kolob 747 used a slightly higher percentage of its fuel tank compared to the Kolob 749. And then on to cost. So normally the cheapest truck gets the 2 points, which would have been the Kolob 749. But it only takes second place in this. So the Pacific P16 is in fact the most expensive to buy if you were to want a second one. But you can find it for free on Drummond Island. It's fully fueled and fully repaired. You can just get in it and go. So it doesn't cost anything. So that's why it takes the 2 points there. So, out of the 3 trucks, in third place, we have the Kolob 747 with 4 points. In second place, the Kolob 749 with 9 points. And the winner is the Pacific P16 with 10 points. So, if you found this comparison useful, please consider subscribing and checking out my other Snowrunner truck comparisons. And if you have enjoyed, please leave a like and comment. And I want to thank you very much for watching. I've been Deck, and this has been Snowrunner with the Kolob Pacific 16 Kolob comparison. Thank you very much, and goodbye.